Guys, welcome to the 10th. That's right, I'll say it again, the 10th. Double digits, baby. God, we're being consistent. We love it. That's what we talk about, right? We're showing up every week, and we're giving you something for 2.5 months. To the Journey for Greatness podcast. Tom, weigh in here for a sec, bud. 10 episodes. 2.5 months. What are your thoughts?
Consistency, baby. I mean, 2.5 months is a short time across the entire life of a human being. But, I mean, first we had the biggest thing, which was just getting ourselves started. Getting going, getting into the podcast, doing it on a consistent basis. Now we're sitting here 10 episodes in, and we're thinking of ourselves, damn, like we've done it for 2.5 months, like pat on the back, you know what I mean? But then it's like, and then we automatically humble ourselves and think, no, we got a long way to go. So it's kind of a torn between, is it that big of a deal or is it not that big of a deal? You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's awesome, but dude, we got so much more work to do. So I'm excited.
Well, is this actually 10 or is this the 11th episode? We just didn't get through the last one. Right?
Well, yeah, so we have to we gotta bite the bullet here. We had a little bit we're having some technical difficulties with getting this the system up and running, so just gotta continue we might have to try a different setup,
guys,
you know.
All my fault. Tom's great, it's all my fault. I don't know what happened. We started this about 25 minutes ago and something happened, so we had to start all over, but hey, that's the journey. Right? That's a part of the journey. You may start, it's going great. We were feeling good, great content, flowing, and all of a sudden something just happened. So we stopped and we started over again.
For me too, like it was hard for me because I heard it playing in the background, so I kind of knew it like got fucked up, and so I was like, I tried to. The first time it happened, I heard it and I just stopped, and then the second time I was like, I can't. So I burst out.
Hey, did you actually know? Did you know what happened?
I heard it the first time, and I kind of kept it going, but then I heard it play again, and I was like, oh, man, something happened. So.
But, yeah, no, we're back. So, we're going to it's almost the same thing as last week, because we had some pretty unique weeks again. So, basically, we're asking you to be creative. What should the title of this talk be? We don't have one. We don't have a title here. We want you to be creative. Maybe this is free ball too. We don't know. But, you be creative. So we both, as I said, we both had pretty unique weeks. I just got back last night from a summit. No, I did not climb Mount Everest. I did not go for a climb. What I mean when I say summit is I went to, you could call it a workshop for trainers, PTs. It was in Providence. I was there all day Friday, all day Saturday, and basically they have a schedule of presenters, hands-on stuff. So you basically have a schedule, and there's different presenters who do lectures, and then there's hands-on stuff. And you pick where you want to go. You pick your poison. So I'm going to kind of talk about what I learned in my experience there. And guys, you're going to be surprised at what I talk about, because it really doesn't have to do with science and training and squatting and deadlifting and benching. No, it doesn't have to do with that at all. And it's probably one of the biggest takeaways I took away from this workshop, this summit. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. It'll be interesting. And anybody that owns a business, who's a manager, who's kind of looking to get to that next level, I think almost anybody who is working can definitely benefit from this, that wants to get to the next level or is just looking to get that slight edge. So I think it'll be really beneficial for a lot of you. And Tommy can weigh in on, what he's going to kind of talk about. He's had a unique week also too. He's kind of building off what we talked about last week.
Yeah. I've kind of gone full, obviously this is my second full force week into just starting off this whole financial professional, career opportunity. And, I was talking a little bit earlier in the take one, that we were Yeah, man.
We're on take 2, baby.
Yeah, take 2. Just a humble start. I'm just having. I was talking about Thursday how I don't know. I just didn't have any. Like, I had already wore a shirt twice in the week, and I put all my clothes to the dry cleaner on Wednesday. So, like, I woke up Thursday, I was like, fuck, like, either I could wear this shirt I've already worn twice of the week to the office, or I could tell my boss, like, hey, I'm going to be, hustling up where I'm at, up in Mooresville, which is like about a 50-minute drive to the office. So, I stayed up here. I coordinated with my apartment complex. They're going to do like kind of a networking meet and greet on July 20th. And that was just me like thinking of different ways I can meet people, to potentially, because I've been playing street hockey, so I have that group of people that I've been hanging out with. But, I have to come up with ways of meeting people, and because I don't have a huge network down here, and obviously the business of being a financial, professional, so to speak, you really have to be, in the community, talking to people, having conversations with people. And so, but I also look at that Thursday and I'm like, fuck, was that just an excuse? Like, I shouldn't have an excuse of, I should have planned out dropping my clothes off. I should have just done them all at one time. And I'm like, man, like, so that's kind of dialogue that the dialogue that I have with my head is like, that was kind of just an excuse. So I don't know. I had an interesting week, and I'm trying to.
But
what's that?
Let me just weigh. Can I just weigh in for 1 sec here?
Yeah.
Like, listening to what you're saying, Tom, you're going through it, baby. You're going through that struggle. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking, I don't got the suits. I don't got the shirts. You're going through that struggle, man. And this is awesome. Because now what you're going to do is you're going to use the struggle and you're going to say, okay, like when you don't want to work another hour, it's like, you want to know something? I need another shirt. I need another suit. I have to make an extra, this, that. So I can do this, so I can re-up, you know what I'm saying? So I can get to that level where I have enough suits, where I have enough clothes. So, I mean, this is great, though, because, dude, you're on that journey to be great as a salesman. You're going through that struggle, So this is good. I like this. This is good.
Yeah, and even starting, that was one of my excuses that Corey that my boss called out. Like, dude, not the best, but he's like, a lot of people, even myself, like, I started with 5 shirts, 3 of them I borrowed from my brother. Like, so, like, for me, that was an excuse of why I didn't even start in the business. And then once I've gotten started, I've kind of let that just, ride by the wayside and really just be all in, and show the effort. And I really do believe that, my boss sees that I'm putting the effort in, and I'm reaching out to people, and I'm making contacts with, people that are in my, in the Clarkson alumni, and really trying to, just kind of just reach out to my network and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Would love to, sit down with you and see if I can help you out, So far so good. I mean, it's end of week 2. I told him, hey, I'm going to give you 30 hard. I'm going to give you effort for 30 days, and I'm going to, reevaluate. And he's like, dude, that's all I can ask for, 30 days. And so, at the end of that time period, I will know, like, is it something that I do want to go forward with, or is it something that, I don't see myself doing, because I want something that I can do for 10, not 10 years, 20, 30, 40, I mean, I'm 30, so 50 year, I don't want to have to, I don't want to say retire, but I want to be able to, not like a physical job where I have to stop at age 40 or 50, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's funny, you talk about being happy and all this and all that, and as I've told you, and as I've put up on the gram, I'm reading Gary V's Crush It, and I read it last night. I try and at least read 10 pages. And it's funny, what did he say? He goes, he's more concerned for people who are happy, but they can't put content out to express their real brand, their real self. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you're working for this insurance company, but you're able to do this. There's no restriction to it. But he said probably the number one thing besides that is to be happy. He's like, if you're not happy, you got to get out. You got to get out. So that's huge, and that's great that you're looking at that as an indicator as to if you want to do this or not. Because again, we'll go back to the money thing. A lot of people, first thing they look at is where the dollar signs. How much money am I making?
Exactly.
You know, what am I going to be making a year? How much am I making a month? This, that. And listen, I've become, like, I'm not going to lie, dude, money's huge. It is. You need money, you know? Like, you can't paint leaves, dude. You can't go pick leaves off tree, walk into a store like, hey, I want a pair of jeans. Here's 50 leaves equal to $50. Nah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, but it's the truth, right? I mean, you need money to survive. You do. But I swear to God, man, like, these last few months, I've really been thinking that I need money to survive, so I make money. But, dude, I've never spent so much money in other things. And I'm not saying items. I'm saying, like I go on Facebook, and if I see someone's doing a GoFundMe, I'm going to throw them $50, you know? Because I'm helping somebody, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not just going to buy a pair of jeans for myself. Again, you know, myself, me. That's what we think about. We don't really think about others. And it's you know, I mean, you get all these people who have this money, too, and it's just about them. It's like, why don't you throw 50, maybe $60 out every now and then to help somebody else out, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, who... You know what I'm saying? Is that really going to kill you? Is that really going to put you in a financial debt? No. But people are just so jealous. I'm not jealous, but they're just so, like, you know, it's all about them. It's like, so I've just, and I'm not, you know, I've just realized, like I've realized that, you know, just little stuff like that, it helps, and it makes me feel good when I do that, you know? So, you know, not to say money isn't big. I kind of got sidetracked here. You know, went on a tangent, but, you do need to be making money to survive, but that's not what it's about. I mean, you know, I was talking to you today, right? I don't make a ton of money, okay? I'm in an awesome situation. I love my job. I wake up on Monday at 3:15, 3:30. I work out before my 5:20 group, and people are like, dude, you crazy. Like, why do you, what? Because, man, I love my job. I love to go there. Mm-hmm. You know, it's love. It's happiness. Like, when I go there, I'm smiling. I'm happy to be there. There's not a second I'm there that I regret it. Do I get tired? Yeah, I get tired. I'm a human being, you know. I work from 5:20, and I'm not home till like 8:30. You know, that's the grind though. You got to do it now while you can. But it's just people evaluating stuff, everything on money. You know, how much money? It's happiness. You know, you love what you do because you want to talk about money. You love what you do. In the future, you're gonna be making a crap load of it because you love what you do. It's not a job, and you put in that time. So you evaluating like you are. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know, that's how you got to evaluate. I'm so happy, dude. Notice how you didn't mention dollar signs once, right? You didn't mention dollar signs.
Well, you know, and that's another
because
thing. I am 100%. You know, and that's kind of the stressful part is it's 100% based off of how many people you help. You know, I mean, it's like if you're not helping people get in and do things, then you're not getting, you know, it's 100% commission. So, you know, you have to hustle and kind of kill what you, or eat what you kill, basically. You know, you're not getting that steady, consistent. It's like for you when you're doing, you know, if you do a great job with a client, like you're helping that client, you know, they may be more apt to talk to the other person in their life that might need a need for, you know, a personal training client. So you end up getting paid because you've done a good job for that person, you know? And so, you know, that's kind of your commission, and that's your way of getting more clients and more people. And so that's kind of the same idea behind what I'm doing is, you know, it's just a matter of showing them the process of what we do and making sure that it you know, is helping people and making them feel like they're getting something of value and not just kind of screwing them over or, you know, selling them something they don't need. And my gut feeling initially is that's what the company does. It's not like, yeah, you just need this, you need that. Like, oh yeah, and I'm not going to say my attitude or my perspective might change on that, but that's my initial gut feeling is they truly do try to help and go through a process of learning about a person and then recommending something that works for them.
100%. And you know, it's funny we're having this talk because I went for a walk today, and you know, shout out, man. His name's Vinny Toludo. Unbelievable trainer, man. Works his behind off. Just such a good kid, good trainer. Works at Boyles. We just talked this afternoon. I was on a walk probably 2 hours before we got on the cast here, and he's like, dude, this is our thinking at Boyles. This is how we think. This is why, and Mike ingrains this in you, and this is why I was so successful there. He's like, dude, like, yeah, we don't make a ton of money, but dude, the payoff is like, I just like feel joy. Like, I feel success. Like, my $1 million check is when a parent says, little Johnny won't stop talking about you, Vinny. Like, he loves coming here. Like, he gets pissed off when we're late. You know what I'm saying? Like when I leave late, he yells at me. He's pissed off because he wants to get here. And like, this is the highlight of his week, Like, and that's kind of flowing into what I'm going to talk about. What I got away from this whole summit workshop, I guess you could say, this past weekend. I mean, so it's not like our biggest payoff isn't here's a $5,000 check. That's not the payoff. The payoff for us is to see the results, for kids, for people to enjoy, to want to come to our gym and work out. Yeah. So, and I think, I think that's a great platform. I think I'm going to kind of go into what I was going to talk about.
Do it.
If you don't mind. Yeah. So, as I said, you have a schedule in front of you. You're able to go to different talks. There's 5 or 6, there's maybe 2 or 3 lectures going on. There's a workshop going on. And I said to myself, okay, I went to it last year too. Went to a lot of workshops and science talks about, hip hinging, evaluating. I went to 2 or 3 of those this year. But I said to myself, I looked at the schedule and I said, you want to know something? I'm going to take a different route this year. I'm going to go to a lot of, connecting with people and clientele and all of this. And just different angles on how to connect with people and how to get results and how to get more clients. And dude, every single talk I went to that talked about that, they just consistently said, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how much you know. At the end of the day, if you want more clients, if you want to be successful, and as I said, I feel like this is in any job, you have to create a home-warming family culture. Bottom line, like you want to talk about not losing clients and having clients for life, that's what you have to create. And a lot of people overlook this. And I'm not gonna lie. Before I was at Boyles, think about it. You're like, okay, how do you measure how successful your business is? And I would have said, how much money are you making? And don't get me wrong, that's a measure of success. But also, how much money are you making? Yes. But also, are the people coming back every time you need to renew? You know what I'm saying? Are people sending the owner, the manager, little emails like, hey, little Johnny today, he was awesome. He really, he did a great job. He really kind of showed me that he cared. That happens at our gym. It does. Those emails are sent. You need to take it a step above making money. You need to create that rapport, that relationship. Ask those people, how's the week going? Oh, you bought a new house. You're painting it. That's awesome. Talk to them about that stuff. How's your son John doing at school? He's a senior, huh? Where's he going to college? You have to do that. If you want to be successful at everything, at the end of the day, what am I saying, guys? You gotta show you give a shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Seriously. That stuff can't fly over your head, I mean, and when I was talking to Vinny, it's you can be an okay trainer, but be an awesome people person and really make that person feel like you care when you actually do. And they're going to love it. They're going to keep coming back. If they keep getting some results, they're going to keep coming back. But now let's flip the situation. Somebody that gets awesome results, but, it's awkward. You don't really talk to your trainer. It's like, hey, how's it going today? Good, how are you? Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. They're getting the results, and they may stay because they're getting the results for now. But at some point, they're going to leave you, and they're going to go to somebody else. Why? Because you're not showing you give a shit. You have to show that you give a shit about the person, about the people around them, about their kids, about their husband, about their wife, about what's going on in their life. Like, that's what a big measure of success is those people that are repeatedly coming back. Because then when you have people who are repeatedly coming back, you're obviously doing something right. Am I wrong? You're doing something right. And then what happens? Those people love it there so much that they start talking about it to others. And others are like, oh, that sounds awesome. I want to try it out. Boom. And then what happens?
How it goes from there.
They love it. They talk about it. It's a friggin' chain effect, man. So what am I saying? Yeah, I got some great content, some great evaluation stuff to do at work that I'm definitely going to try to actually put in work tomorrow. I was looking it over this morning. But the biggest takeaway is, and I knew this, but it even reinforced it more. Show your clients whatever you're doing. Marketing, whether you're a freaking cashier or whether you're taking orders at McDonald's. You never know who you're going to run into, right? And obviously you can't do this if you're at McDonald's, but for you, for example, Tommy, let's say, you build a great rapport with somebody, it's the little things. Like, I know a person at the gym, Mother's Day, I have her number. I was like, hey, Lisa, happy Mother's Day. Hope you're having a great day. Not a big deal, right? Going to the gym the next day, she looks at me and she goes, Eric, that is the sweetest thing anybody's ever done for me. Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciated that. That was, like, really? I just, all I did was pull your number up and say, happy Mother's Day, Lisa. I hope you have a great day. But that shit matters to people. That is what brings people back for business. Now, you have to have good content. You have to do a good job. Obviously, if Susie Sue walks into the gym and she's 260 pounds and she wants to lose weight, and in a month she's 270 pounds, well then obviously, and you're nice to her and you have that rapport, she's probably not going to be happy.
You got to have results.
But what I'm trying to say here, no, 100%. Look, success is also measured on results. But I think one of the biggest things, again, this is my thought, guys. You may disagree with me, but this is my thought. And I've seen it firsthand for over a year now, okay, is that one of the biggest things, huge, if not just as important, more important, is to build that rapport. Show people you give a shit about them. They just not a number 55 that just walked in the gym for a workout. Their name is Susie Sue, and you know where she lives, and you know she just got back from a trip. You're going to walk up to her. You're going to shake her hand. You're going to smile. You're going to say, Sue, how was your trip? How was California, huh? How was the family doing, huh? How's little Joey's arm that he broke? When's he going to return? When's his first? That stuff matters, and people overlook that. A lot of people have great content, great stuff they put out, but they don't show they give a shit. I swear to God, man, you can be a decent, okay trainer, and you act like that, people are going to come back. And I'm not just talking about in the strength and conditioning world. I'm talking about, in any kind of world. Now, I'm not saying, okay, strive for mediocrity, but be very nice. No, what I'm saying is, if you strive to take that angle and show people you give a shit, and you put out great content, you're going to be amazingly successful. So, that is honestly probably, if not the biggest things, one of the biggest subjects that I overheard in every single talk. Show you give a shit. Don't just make them another number. Dive into their actual life. How are they doing? Where are they at? So, a lot of good content in that subject from different angles. It was a great weekend. As I said, I got a lot of great stuff to actually implement in training too. But, I bet you didn't think I was going to throw that out there, right? I kind of threw you a Nolan Ryan curveball. You didn't see it coming.
I love it,
because
I think that's the foundation of any good relationship, with whether you do business with the person or they come in and just do, one lesson with you or one workout. That's huge to show that you care.
But wait a minute. But you as you're trying to sell, right? You're trying to be a salesman. So, let's say, old grandpa, 50, 70, 80 something, he's your client. You get his number. It's Father's Day. A little something like, hey, just want to wish you a happy father. So someone like you too. It's not just
Correct.
a trainer. Like a lot of other jobs you can do this at. Little stuff like that matters. And you want to know something? That shows you care. And I guarantee you, especially those old people who are old school, because I feel like our generation has gotten away from that, realize that. Like, right? Like, as I just said, all I did was text Lisa, Happy Mother's Day. And she could have just said, oh, Eric, that's like, yeah, that was awesome. She legitimately was like, across the gym, Eric, that was so, she went out of her way because it meant so much to her, but it was such a little thing. Like, our generation, we get away from that shit, man. We just think it's all about the money and stuff. And don't get me wrong, remember what I said, you need money to succeed. But that little stuff, in the long run, is going to make you the money.
Yeah, that's well put, my friend. I think that's a very, I just look back even further back when I was running my business and I was doing like landscaping and all that stuff, and I used to handwrite, and I didn't have like thousands of customers, but I basically would handwrite thank you cards to all my customers, and people loved it. They were like, "Oh my God, I got your card! Like, thank you," And it wasn't anything special. It just was like, it was kind of a company branded card, and that was it, But it was handwritten. I wrote every single one. I probably did 75 to 100 of them. You still there? Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
I didn't know.
yeah.
Getting some feedback.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about, dude. That's what it is.
As I go into this
definitely one of
this endeavor, I'm gonna try to definitely do some of that stuff, because the intangible stuff like that really does go a long way, and I think we forget to do it sometimes. But at the end of the day, people appreciate it, and they really want to continue to do business with somebody that feels like that person really does give a shit about them. So I like it.
Yeah, so that's my week. That's my kind of that kind of wraps up a lot of what I did this weekend. So I think it's kind of it's time that we get into that Grinder of the Week episode to kind of wrap this whole thing up here.
So I'll let you go for it.
Why don't you?
Yeah.
You want me to go for it? So I mentioned him in talk. Grinder of the Week is gonna have to be my man Vincent Toludo. Vinny Toludo. He's a trainer at Mike Boyle's. He's actually he's showing that hard work and time, dedication, help. Goes a long way. He actually just started a few months ago on the CFSC, kind of starting to teach it and stuff, and so he's starting to really shine and kind of become. He's already a great coach, but even better. So and now I talked to him today, and he wants to get into the speaking too at some point. So that's just I love to see guys that work hard and excel like that. That really that excites me. That makes me happy. So shout out to Vinny. Kid's always working hard every day. Every day he's at work, he's working hard, and then when he isn't at work, he's still doing
hustling.
Work. So shout out to Vinny.
No, that's good.
That's right.
I know he's
a young Italian kid, so
Yeah, Vinny Toludo.
That's right.
No, I'm sitting here. I know we're honest with each other. I'm drawing a blank. I don't have a Grinder of the Week. It sounds like a bitch out or a cop out, but I know I think that was episode 2 or something. I had a brain fart and I didn't have one. So I was like thinking to myself, I was like, does it have to be an immediate association within our life, or could it be like a Gary V or somebody that like we look up to, like on a higher level? Like, are we kind of broadening it to whatever we want, or is it just like strictly
whatever you want? Whatever you want.
I want to shout out. I know it sounds really stupid, and we're only 10 episodes in, but I feel like we need to just shout out Gary V. It's a stupid thing, but on the same token, the guy's influenced me tremendously in the last like I'd say probably solid 4 or 5 months. And
Me too. Yep,
I don't know.
Shout out to Gary V.
And I know
Definitely.
he's a fucking mythical creature because he's so, obviously a lot bigger than we are. But, on the same token, I think we both gain a lot of, value from him. And, for me, I don't agree with, I'm not saying I agree with every single thing that he says and everything that he believes in, but, for the same reasons I've started this podcast, or, I've gone through you know my story. I mean, I was fucking Uber driving. I was I was selling books and this and that. And like, dude, all that stuff, I'm not saying I'm never going to do it again, but all that stuff was based off of like that hustle mentality that I've been getting from Gary V, just like trying different stuff, like get myself out there, do different things. And at the end of the day, you kind of start to hone in on what it is that you want to do. And, I'm not hustling like 4 or 5 different things right now, but I realize that, that's the thing. I'm realizing that me as a person needs to be focused in on, obviously we're doing the podcast, but, I'm focusing in on this financial professional thing. And if it's not right, then I will focus on the next thing. But, for me, that's one thing that I haven't, I've kind of gone away from what Gary says is like focusing on one thing or 2 things and doing them really, really well. But Gary, I was thinking even like earlier today, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on there. I'm going to repost like for 1 day or 2 days. I'm just going to like repost exactly what he posts. I want to get a feel for like what his dude. And you were even saying it earlier, like his stories, like he's got like 20 stories a day. Like, I know he has a whole team of people that he's got like 4 or 5 people that work for him that, specifically do his stuff. And we all probably can't afford that. But I think there is a rhythm and a cadence like you and I get into, like we're 2 people, like we can do double the content on the Journey for Greatness Instagram because we are 2 people. So like, if you're in a situation where you're only by yourself, maybe you look at partnering up with somebody. And I think that's like giving us inspiration to really, be able to put more content out on our page because we're 2 people. And like Gary V, he's got 5 people. So you can imagine if we put 5 or 6 stories out, that's probably about right. You know what I mean? And unless we go out and hire 3 fucking people, which we're not going to do, but I still think that Gary V, single man alone, would still crush content and still figure out ways to do it on his own. So just because he has a team doesn't mean, he doesn't hustle personally. So definitely shout out to him. He's had a huge impact on mine, and I know you've gotten into him as well. So
yeah, recently, definitely.
That was kind of my pull out of the pocket quick because I didn't have anybody close to me.
Listen, there's never a wrong grinder of the week, man. Doesn't matter who he is. Doesn't matter if it's freaking God or Zeus up there. Like, grinder of the week's your grinder of the week. So, it's your choice, and that's what's significant about it is you
Absolutely.
choose them. So,
well,
all right. Well, I think that wraps up episode 10. We're in double digits now, baby.
Impressive, dude. Impressive. And shout out to everybody that listens and is still listening and continues to listen. We try to keep them short and sweet for you guys. We appreciate you guys taking your attention, giving it to us, whether it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. We appreciate it.
We do. And don't think it goes unnoticed. We really do. It means a lot. We put a lot into these, and people listening, we really appreciate it, and it does. It means a lot to us. So, as we always say, if we can just touch or one person hears us and they change, awesome. We're doing what we got to do, and we're doing our job. So again, we can't say it enough. Thank you for listening and taking the time out of your day, because remember, we talk about, right, what's the most important thing? Time. Time equals money. So hopefully this was beneficial to everybody.
Absolutely. So
we'll
have a great week, everybody, and
sounds
we'll
good.
talk soon.
Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.